Welcome to our channel United Coaching. Today we will discuss questions in science and technology. Our question is, the SI unit of which fundamental physical quantity got a new measure set by the value of Planck constant from 2019? So is it length, time, mass or luminous intensity? So answer is mass. The International Conference of Heads of Metrology Institutes held in Sivers, France in October 2017 decided that the measure of kilogram will no longer be pegged to a cylinder. From 2019 onwards, it will be set by the value of Planck constant in combination with definitions of meter and second. The cylinder's weight in kilogram is known to fluctuate due to the surface contamination with time and making it tricky to define the exact mass. Our next question is, which of the following is not a commercial source of energy? So is it coal, petroleum, natural gas or firewood? So answer is firewood. Firewood cannot be used to yield energy at an industrial level. Our next question is, Bombay High is known for its dash which deposits? So is it coal deposit or diamond or petroleum or iron? So answer is petroleum. Bombay High, or now known as Mumbai High field, is an offshore oil field located in the Arabian Sea, approximately 160 km west of the Mumbai coast in India. And the oil operations are run by India's Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, that is ONGC, and crude oil produced from Bombay High is considered to be very good quality as compared to crude oil produced in Middle East. Our next question is, Kyoto Protocol is associated with, so is it with climate change or wetland conservation or medicinal plants or animal husbandry? So answer is with climate change. The Kyoto Protocol is an international agreement on climate change which commits its parties by setting internationally binding emission reduction targets. Our next question is, oxides of which of the following are acidic in nature? So is it metals, non-metals or both metals and non-metals or neither of the metal or non-metals? So answer is non-metals. The oxides of non-metals are acidic in nature and sometimes they are neutral as well. So like for example, when carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon monoxide, then the carbon monoxide is neutral in nature, but if it forms carbon dioxide, then it is acidic in nature. Similarly, when nitrogen reacts with oxygen, it forms both acidic and neutral oxides, and the non-metal oxides which are mostly acidic such as sulfur dioxide or nitrogen oxide are responsible for acid rain. Our next question is, phosphorus is stored in which among the following? So is it stored in kerosene or petroleum or water or aqua regia? So answer is water. Phosphorus is stored in water to prevent its contact from atmospheric oxygen. Phosphorus is highly reactive element, and this means that at room temperature it reacts very quickly with the oxygen in the air and turning it into pentoxide, and the process leads to high combustion, and this makes it very dangerous element if not handled properly. So however, phosphorus is insoluble in water, so it is stored in water to prevent its contact with air. Our next question is, potassium is stored in which among the following? So is it in kerosene, petroleum, water or aqua regia? So answer is kerosene. Potassium is stored in kerosene to prevent its contact from atmospheric oxygen. Potassium is kept in kerosene to prevent it from coming in contact with oxygen and moisture as well, because it reacts to form the hydroxide of potassium, that is potassium hydroxide, KOH, and this is an exothermic reaction and lot of heat is generated and it might cause fire. So it is kept in kerosene to prevent its contact from the oxygen. Our next question is, sodium is stored in which among the following? So is it kerosene, petroleum, water or aqua regia? So answer is kerosene. Sodium and potassium both are stored in kerosene, and phosphorus is stored in water. So sodium and potassium are highly reactive metals and react vigorously with oxygen and moisture present in the air such that it may cause a fire. So to prevent this explosive reaction, as we can see in the given picture, sodium is kept kept immersed in kerosene because sodium does not react with kerosene. Our next question is, what is referred to as the fire triangle? So from the given options of fuel, air, heat and water, what three components form the fire triangle? So answer is fuel, air and heat. The oxygen which is present in the air, the heat and fuel are frequently referred to as the fire triangle. The three essential requirements of the requirements to produce fire are fuel, that is a combustible substance such as paper, wood, etc., that can burn, and air or the oxygen present in the air as a supporter of combustion, and the heat to supplying the heat so that the substance reaches its ignition temperature. So the answer for the fire triangle is fuel, air and heat forms a fire triangle. Our next question is, Alchemist in the olden times used which reagent to separate gold and silver? So answer is Aquaria. Gold and silver are often extracted from the same ores and are hard to separate, and Aquaria is used to dissolve gold and leave behind silver and other impurities. So answer is Aquaria was used to extract or separate gold from silver. Our next question is, Aquaria is a mixture of, so is it hydrochloric and nitric acid, or hydrochloric and sulfuric acid, or nitric acid and sulfuric acid, or hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid? So answer is hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, that is HCl and HNO3. Aquaria is a mixture of HCl and HNO3, and this mixture Aquaria was also given a name royal water by the alchemist because it has the ability to dissolve gold and other noble metals. Our next question is, the water found below the water table is called, so is it aquifer or groundwater or infiltrate or tap water? So answer is groundwater. Now the water table is an underground boundary between the soil surface and the water lying beneath it. So that water is called groundwater. Groundwater is found below the water table, and the water table separates the groundwater zone that lies below it from the capillary fringe or the zone of aeration that lies above it. And an aquifer is a body of a rock or sediments that holds groundwater. Our next question is, the branches of tall trees look like a roof over the other plants in the forest, and this is called as, so is it canopy or crown or umbrella or cover? So answer is canopy. When the branches and leaves that spread out at the top of a group of trees form a type of a roof, it is known as canopy. That means, as you can see in the given picture, the tall trees and their branches and leaves spread out and form a sort of a roof over the smaller or medium level trees, and this roof is known as canopy. And sometimes the term canopy is also used to refer the outer layer of leaves of an individual tree as well, or a group of tree. So the canopy is the roof like structure formation that tall trees form over other smaller plants. Our next question is, which of the following is an emergency hormone in humans? So is it thyroxine, insulin, adrenaline or progesterone? So answer is adrenaline. Adrenaline is called an emergency hormone because it initiates quick reaction which makes the individual to think and respond quickly to the stress. And couple of quick reactions are like increase in heartbeat, increase in blood circulation, and sometimes even the hands and feet also start shaking. And all of this is to prepare the person for a fight or flight situation. Our next question is, which among the following term is not associated with sound wave? So is it hertz or decibel or candela or Mach? So answer is candela. Candela is the unit of luminous intensity. So all other options except candela are used to measure the several waveform quantities, basically sound waves. Like hertz is the unit of frequency, and the number of hertz is equal to the number of cycles per second. And decibel measures the sound intensity, which is also referred to as the sound power or sound pressure. And Mach is the ratio of speed of a body to the speed of sound in the surrounding medium. So like for example, Mach 1 is the speed of sound. So anything above this becomes Mach 2 or Mach 1.4 or Mach 3 or different measures. So basically it gives the speed relative to the speed of sound. So all the options are somewhere related to the sound or sound wave, except for candela, which is the unit of luminous intensity. Our next question is, which of the following is the uppermost layer of the atmosphere? So is it a stratosphere or mesosphere or ionosphere or exosphere? So answer is exosphere. The atmosphere is comprised of layers, and they are namely troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere and thermosphere. And the farthest region, which is above 500 kilometers above the earth's surface, is called exosphere. Now exo means external, so you can remember it like this. So exo means external, and if you see the earth from space, the outermost layer would become exosphere. So it is the outermost layer of the earth's atmosphere, and the exosphere is the uppermost region of the earth's atmosphere, and it gradually fades into the vacuum of the space, and air in the exosphere is extremely thin. Our next question is, what is commonly known as white plague? So is it typhoid or malaria or tuberculosis or plague? So answer is tuberculosis or TB. TB was called the white plague due to the paleness of the patients, and it is an infectious bacterial disease that mainly affects the lungs. Our next question is, webbed neck is a characteristic of, so is it of Down syndrome or Turner syndrome or Klinefelter syndrome or Cry-Du-Cat syndrome? So answer is Turner syndrome. The webbed neck is a characteristic of a Turner syndrome, and the Turner syndrome is characterized by a single X chromosome. So that means the chromosome number is 45 plus X or 45 plus X0 or XO. Our next question is, black soil is also known as, so is it Khadar soil or Bangar soil or alluvial soil or Rigor soil? So answer is Rigor soil. The black soil is also known as Rigor soil. The word rigor originates from the Latin word regurgitate, which refers to volcano, and the black soil is formed from the degradation of the lava which was from the volcano. So therefore black soil is also known as Rigor soil. Our next question is, when iron rusts, its weight, so does it decreases or increases or remains the same, or first increases and then decreases? So answer is increases. When the iron rusts, its weight increases, and when the iron or any other metal oxidizes, the oxygen from the air combines with the iron or that metal and forms an iron oxide or the oxide of that metal, and in this case it is rust, which is iron oxide. So the weight of the iron bar increases. If the iron bar gets rusted, its weight will increase, and it is due to the added weight of oxygen which has combined with the iron. Our next question is, which of the following vitamins are water soluble? So is it A and B or B and C or C and D or A and K? So answer is B and C are water soluble, and the vitamin A, D, E, K. So you can remember is that it as ADAC. So A, D, E, K are fat soluble vitamins, and B complex vitamins and vitamin C are water soluble vitamins that are not stored in the body, and they need to be replenished regularly. Our next question is, the Buford scale is used to measure. So is it atmospheric pressure or altitudes of mountains or wind velocity or intensity of earthquakes? So answer is wind velocity. The Buford scale is the scale for measuring the wind speed, and it relates the wind speed to the observed conditions at the sea or on land. Our next question is, the waste management technique that involves the use of microorganisms to remove or neutralize pollutants from contaminated site is called. So is it biosensor or biomagnification or bioremediation or bioconcentration? So answer is bioremediation. Bioremediation is a biological recycling of waste products with the help of microorganisms. So it is a biological recycling of waste products, and the waste management technique that involves the use of microorganisms to remove or neutralize the pollutants from the contaminated site, which can be land or water, that is known as bioremediation. Our next question is, the purest form of water in nature is, so is it rainwater or lake water or river water or sea water? So answer is rainwater. The rainwater is considered the purest form of water, and the impurities and salt present in the water on earth are left behind during the vaporization by the sun, and which ultimately forms the rainwater. Our next question is the source of energy that causes the least global warming is. So is it coal or geothermal energy or natural gas or petroleum? So answer is geothermal energy. The geothermal energy is the heat within the subsurfaces of the earth, and this heat causes the water to boil and form steam. So the steam or the hot water carries the geothermal energy to the earth's surface, and these underground reservoirs of steam and hot water can be tapped into to generate electricity. So just like in a steam engine, the steam or the hot water is used to turn the turbine and generate electricity. So the hot water is pumped out of the earth and sent into the geothermal power plant, and it is used to turn the turbine and thus produce electricity. So therefore the electricity generated by geothermal energy is very less polluting, and therefore contributes less to the global warming, whereas on the other hand, the electricity generated by use of fossil fuels such as coal or petroleum or natural gas contributes to the greenhouse gases. The pollution from these fossil fuels causes the greenhouse gases and causes global warming.